All right, so cannibalism. It's one of those words, you hear it, you kind of get a shiver down your spine. You think of like all this gruesome stuff. But um, what if I told you that it's actually a lot more complex than just the horror stories?
Mm.
That's what we're looking at today, the whole world of cannibalism.
Yeah.
We got some historical stuff, we got some psychology. We're even going to look at like the future a little bit.
Yeah, the future of cannibalism.
It's wild. And you know what? You might actually be pretty surprised by how much cannibalism tells us about just being human
Right, about human nature.
and the choices we make. Like when things get really, really rough, what do you think?
I think it's fascinating how cannibalism, it's not just some like ancient history thing. It pops up throughout history and in different cultures, but like for different reasons. It's
Yeah.
not always like evil intent. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not always like some Hannibal Lecter thing going on.
Exactly.
Like take the 4 people of Papua New Guinea. They actually ate like the remains of their family members who died,
Yeah.
like especially the brains.
It was a way of like honoring the dead,
Yeah, it was like a ritual.
It was a way of keeping their spirit alive or whatever, but it backfired horribly.
It led to Kuru,
It did, yeah.
which that's not good.
No, it's a prion disease. Basically what happens is you got these cis-folded proteins, and they can spread when you eat infected tissue, and then it really messes up your brain.
Yeah, like big time neurological problems.
Huge, yeah. It's a tragic example of like the very real dangers of cannibalism.
Right. It's not just some scary story.
Hmm.
Like biologically, there's a reason this is a taboo thing.
For sure.
But then, okay, so let's shift gears a little bit.
Yeah.
When we talk about modern day cannibalism, like a few names pop up right away.
Yeah, for sure.
Dahmer,
Uh-huh.
Meiwes.
Yeah.
Like these are guys.
The poster children.
Poster children, yeah.
Yeah.
Like Dahmer was just like messed up.
Yeah.
Psychologically, like deeply disturbed. But Meiwes, that's a whole other thing.
Yeah. Meiwes, it's almost like a pact,
Yeah, like his victim was into it.
Yeah, like consented to it.
Which legally,
That just throws everything out of whack. It's like, where's the line?
yeah, it's not clear cut at all. Like, is that murder?
Right.
I don't even know.
And it sparks this whole debate,
It's a huge ethical question. Like, what do you even do with that?
Yeah.
Well, then you got to see Sagawa. Like, he was another one.
Oh, yeah.
Killed and ate a student in Paris, but got off because of legal technicalities.
Yeah, loopholes in the law. And then he became this like weird
A
celebrity.
celebrity. Like, what?
It's bizarre, but it shows how messed up the legal and moral stuff around cannibalism is. It's not straightforward at all.
No, it's just a total gray area.
Yeah.
And then, okay, so you bring up like the legal stuff, and that kind of takes us to like survival cannibalism. Have you ever read about the Donner Party?
Oh, yeah.
That is dark.
That one's tough.
Yeah.
Stranded in the mountains.
Yeah, like the Sierra Nevada mountains.
Yeah.
They were stuck.
De-
And they ate each other to survive.
Yeah, it's a classic example of like what happens when people are pushed to the absolute limit.
And it's not just them. Like the Andes flight disaster,
Yeah.
another one. A plane crashes in the Andes mountains.
Yeah.
And they resort to, well,
To the unthinkable.
yeah. I can't even imagine.
It's tough to wrap your head around, right?
Like, how do you make that choice?
I don't know.
You're starving. You're freezing.
You're desperate. Your survival instincts kick in.
Yeah.
But the psychological toll, though,
I was going to say, what does that do to you?
huge, right?
Like, to live with that?
It's not just the act itself. It's the taboo, We're not supposed to do that.
Yeah.
It goes against everything we believe.
Morally, yeah.
Yeah. So survivors often deal with like massive shame, guilt, PTSD.
Right, that makes sense. It's not like the movies make it seem.
No, not at all.
Like in the movies, it's almost entertainment.
Yeah, it's a thrill, right?
Yeah, like Silence of the Lambs.
Exactly.
Alive. It's like playing with our fears.
Our deepest fears, yeah.
Yeah.
It's exciting, but it's important to remember that's not the real deal.
Yeah.
Media makes it a spectacle. They don't really dive into the complexity of it.
Right.
The why, the how, the what happens after. It's all very nuanced.
Totally. And it's not just movies, right? Like the internet,
Mm-hmm.
especially the dark web.
Yeah, the dark web's a whole other can of worms.
It's scary.
Right. It's the space where, like, anything goes.
No rules.
No rules. And, you find communities that are dedicated to, like, the taboo stuff.
Like cannibalism.
Cannibalism, yeah.
Whoa. So they just like talk about it.
They talk about it. They might even be planning stuff. Who knows?
Oh, that is unsettling.
It's creepy, right? It makes you wonder, is the dark web just fantasy land?
Yeah, or is it like leading to actual crimes?
That's the million-dollar question. It's hard to tell what's real and what's not.
I bet.
And that makes it really hard for, law enforcement.
Yeah, to
Yeah.
stop it.
Exactly. How do you tell who's all talk and who's serious?
Right.
It really muddies the water, ethically and legally.
Yeah, because then, like, is it always murder?
Yes.
Or can it be consensual?
Right, like where do you draw the line?
I don't have the answer. Okay, so this is going to get even weirder.
Okay, hit me.
The future.
The future of cannibalism.
Yeah. So, lab-grown meat. Like, that's becoming a thing.
It is.
We're growing meat in labs.
Without the animals.
Yeah. But, like, what if we can grow human meat?
Whoa.
Ethically sourced, of course.
Oh, ethically sourced. That makes it all better, right?
I mean, in theory, it could be a thing, right?
I mean, technically, yeah.
And then what?
And then who knows?
Right. Like, what if the world goes, like, totally dystopian?
Right, like resources dry up.
We're all fighting over,
Yeah.
like, scraps of food.
Suddenly cannibalism doesn't seem so taboo anymore.
Right. It becomes, like, necessary.
Yeah.
That is messed up.
It is. It really makes you think about, like, our morals, our ethics, how quickly those can change when the world goes sideways.
Wow. So, okay, we've gone from, like, ancient rituals to, like, the depths of the internet
Right.
to a future where we might be eating lab-grown whatever.
Yeah.
I think the thing is, cannibalism makes us face some seriously dark stuff about ourselves.
It does, yeah. It makes you question everything.
Morality, survival. Like, what does it even mean to be human?
Yeah, where do you draw the line? It forces you to confront, like, the limits of your empathy.
And, like, what would you do in those situations?
Exactly, yeah. When you're pushed to the edge.
So here's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, go on.
Why are we so obsessed with this? With cannibalism.
Mm-hmm.
It's in movies. It's in books. It's in real life. Are we just morbidly curious?
Maybe.
Or is there something more to it?
I don't know. I think maybe it's about that duality in us. Like, we're capable of great good, but also great evil.
Yeah, like looking into the abyss.
Yeah, and the abyss staring back.
It's a trip, that's for sure.
It is, that's for sure.
Well, that's something to think about, right?
It is, yeah. Food for thought, so to speak.
Ooh. Too soon.
Maybe.
All right, well, we've been deep diving into cannibalism.
A real deep dive.
It's dark, it's complex, and it's something that'll probably stick with you for a while.
Probably.
So until next time, stay curious, but maybe not too curious.
Yeah, keep it light.
All right, see you later.
See ya.